Hello crew and welcome back to Part-Time Pirate. Today's video is going to be a little bit more serious than my other videos. I like to show a lot of the fun things and the things that make Myrtle Beach so great, but today we have a little bit of concern and something that I feel is very important to talk about. Most of you know me as the Part-Time Pirate, but some of you know me as Chuck, the on-field host for the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. That's right, I was an on-field host for the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, the Class A affiliate of the Chicago Cubs for the 2024 season. Now, the reason why today is such a serious video is because in 2025, that could all be gone. Today, we're going to be talking about why Myrtle Beach could be losing the Myrtle Beach Pelicans and why the 2024 season could possibly be the last season that the Myrtle Beach Pelicans play in Myrtle Beach. Now, I do want to say this up front that if for any reason I have any of this information incorrect or I was mistaken about anything, please leave a comment in the comment section below to fix that, and I will gladly put that out there in the public. But I'm going to try to give as much information as I can about this situation and how we could possibly resolve this with the city of Myrtle Beach. I also want to put this out there that even though I was an on-field host for the Pelicans this year, this video is in no way, shape, or form affiliated with the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. They did not ask me to make this video. I am putting this out there as a member of the community and as a member of the team that wants to see that team stay here in Myrtle Beach. So it is to my understanding that the lease contract with the Myrtle Beach Pelicans was up at the end of the 2024 season, and that MLB or Major League Baseball is requiring certain renovations to be made to the ballpark in order for the Pelicans to stay in Myrtle Beach. The city of Myrtle Beach owns 70% of the ballpark and Horry County owns 30% of the ballpark. And the reason why we could be losing the Pelicans is the city and county are both trying to figure out whether they think it is worth it to spend the money on the renovations that is required by MLB, which could be at a minimum of $15 million or to an upwards of $80 million if they decide to build a completely new ballpark. And to my understanding, a lot of the renovations that MLB is requiring is for player development, like new field houses, new weightlifting areas or training development areas, and not necessarily things that would go toward fan engagement, which I can understand if that is their minimum renovations, because of course they're wanting player development. For it being a single A affiliate, they're wanting a lot of these guys to be ready to go to the majors and play for the Cubs. I get that. So now everything is sitting in the hands of the city of Myrtle Beach and Horry County as to whether or not they're going to make the renovations, what renovations they are going to make, and how much money they're willing to put into these renovations. So I've done a little digging, and hopefully this will give some examples and some reasons to why I feel like the Myrtle Beach Pelicans should stay in Myrtle Beach and why it is such an iconic institution here in Myrtle Beach. Number one, on a personal note, getting to be an on-field host in the 2024 season was honestly one of the most fun and incredible jobs I have ever had in my entire life. From getting to meet all the people that I got to meet this season, from coworkers to fans alike, and getting to work in an environment that was so welcoming and accepting, I have never worked for a company or with coworkers that were so in-tuned in teamwork and just making sure that everyone had a great time and had a great time working there. It was also one of the most rewarding jobs that I've ever had. Before I moved to Myrtle Beach and started Part-Time Pirate, me and my wife had vacationed in Myrtle Beach for 12 to 13 years. I proposed to my wife here. We got married on the beach. We spent a lot of our anniversaries here in Myrtle Beach, so it was really like our second home before we moved here. And now that we moved here, I've been looking for opportunities in a way to give back to the city and a community that I have loved so much and that has now become my home. And this was a way for me to give back to the community. Of course, Part-Time Pirate is a way for me to do that, but this really allowed me to have that face-to-face interaction with people who are vacationing here, locals, numerous amounts of people. And it would go from people who, this is their first time visiting Myrtle Beach, they decided to buy tickets to a Pelicans game, and they said it was one of the most fun things they had done on their entire vacation, to getting to appreciate locals who have had season tickets since the very first season. The Pelicans have been here for 25 years, and these people have had season tickets for the entirety of that time to get to see their support and also their appreciation for what we do as entertainment here in Myrtle Beach. And I say that as entertainment because, yes, there is the baseball aspect of it. You are coming to see a baseball game. You're coming to see a professional baseball game, but the entertainment that the promotions crew provides, which is who I worked for as an on-field host. In between innings, the games, working with contestants, all the entertainment aspect that you see involved in the behind the scenes, in between innings things, those are things that fans really, really appreciate, to where if the Pelicans are up by 100 runs or down by 100 runs, the promotions crew's job is to make sure that every single fan has a great time from start to finish of that game. And when I say that I spoke to fans all over, I truly mean that. From locals who now live here in Myrtle Beach or have been transplants to Myrtle Beach, to fans that I know that I personally spoke with, or with contestants that we had in games from other places in South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and even out to other countries like Croatia. And I forgot to mention Canada. There were a lot of fans that we had from Canada this year. So a big reason outside of my personal experience with the Pelicans of why I think the Pelicans should stay in Myrtle Beach is simply the tourism aspect of it. That there are people who are coming to the beach, of course, for the beach, but they are making the choice to spend money and revenue at the ballpark. It is that simple. To have people from that many states and different areas come to watch our baseball games is an incredible thing, that it would be a shame for the city to be able to lose that revenue. And earlier when I said I did some digging, I was looking at seating capacities for the entertainment here in Myrtle Beach. That goes from dinner shows, theaters, everything like that. The Myrtle Beach Pelicans Ballpark has seating for 4,899 seats, I believe. I could be a little wrong on that, but I know it's right around 4,800. And with standing room capacity, it is over 6,000. And during the 2024 season, there were multiple games that we hit standing room only capacity. So that means that around 5,000 to 6,000 people attended those games this summer alone. So when you look at those numbers versus a lot of the other theaters, Pirates Voyage Dinner Theater, Medieval Times, the brand new Greg Rolls Legacy Theater, a lot of those fit anywhere between 700 to 800 seats. The largest that I could find within the Myrtle Beach area is the Carolina Opry, which says that it has about 2,000 seats. So if you're looking at those versus the Myrtle Beach Pelicans Ballpark alone, it is more than double the seating capacity for any of those venues. So when we're talking about revenue coming into the city, the Myrtle Beach Pelicans definitely have the #1 spot on capacity. Now, people may say, well, the Pelicans are a seasonal thing as it is not a year-round schedule. Understandable. And a lot of the other theaters and things like that run stuff year-round, like Christmas shows during the wintertime, things like that. I understand all of that. Now, could the ballpark be utilized during the off-season? I 100% think so. Let's take music, for example. This area loves music. There are live shows all up and down the Grand Strand. Like I said, the theaters. Also, most bars and restaurants have live music in them during the weekends, throughout the week during peak season. So this area definitely loves music. And one of the pitfalls or downfalls that I see for Myrtle Beach is the lack of music venues. I came from Georgia originally before I moved here. And in Atlanta, there's almost a music venue on every corner that can stage most national acts, from big to small, from little clubs all the way up to big arenas. So coming from an area like that and moving to Myrtle Beach, to where the only national touring venue is really the House of Blues in North Myrtle Beach. Other than that, we have to travel to Charleston or Raleigh, North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina to see big national touring acts. So that is a big downfall here in Myrtle Beach that I think the Pelicans Ballpark could absolutely take advantage of. You're looking at a 6,000 seat capacity to where you could have national acts coming through all the time. There would be access to set up a stage in the center field area. They could set up VIP seats or like ground seats out in the infield. And then you've got all the lower and higher bowl area of seating that's there. Does the ballpark currently have access to be able to run those type of things? I'm not 100% sure. That's not a question for me, but that possibility is there. And if it doesn't have access to that, the city and county could put that into the renovations of the ballpark to be able to use that ballpark year round. And I bring that up because I saw an article that said something about the city loses like $90,000 annually on the ballpark, when I'm just not sure exactly how that is when, like I said, the seating capacity for that place is much larger than any theaters here in Myrtle Beach, and there are nights that they go into standing room only. So I'm not 100% sure on that, or it may be because the land just sits there a lot during the off season. Well, this will be a way for you to fix that, city. That simple. Start having off-season events in the ballpark. It's there. Use it. And if it comes down to contracting issues with MLB or the Myrtle Beach Pelicans team itself, the city needs to be working with the team or with MLB to be able to get that kind of contracting to be able to utilize that space during the off season, or even during in season when the team is away for a week. Most of that schedule is 6 games at home, 5 to 6 games away. So there's a full week that ballpark could be utilized in that way. And I know it can be done because, again, coming from Atlanta, it's, you know, the Atlanta Braves now have Truist Park. They did have Turner Field. They hold a lot of concerts there. Bands like Metallica, a lot of big national touring acts would play in these stadiums. Now, is Myrtle Beach Pelicans Ballpark as big as Truist Stadium? No, of course it's not, because it's a minor league team. But the fact that you can bring in that type of revenue still is an opportunity that I feel like is wasted right now. And I know that there are a lot of support for the Pelicans, and there are a lot of people trying to do what they can right now on a small level to be able to keep the Pelicans Ballpark and to help the city and county see that this is something that Myrtle Beach needs. For instance, there's a Facebook group right now called Save the Myrtle Beach Pelicans or Save the Pelicans that in just 3 days has had over 1,200 members joined with no affiliation to the actual Myrtle Beach Pelicans themselves. The Pelicans did not start the group. The Pelicans have not put out any type of advertisements for this group. This was all organic from the community of people just joining together to show their love and support for a team that they want to be here for another 25 years, 30 years, beyond that. It is an absolutely free way to show your support and help us keep the Pelicans here in Myrtle Beach. I will leave the link to that Facebook group in the description below, so if you would like to join and support, you can do so, and we would greatly appreciate it. Also, I know that the city and county are putting a lot of money into projects for redevelopment right now. For instance, the art district that they're working on downtown. Now, if you already have something in your city that is working, why would you not want to put that money toward continuing that working for your city? Like Pelicans Ballpark. I am all for redevelopment of areas in our city. I want to see this city continue to grow and flourish and become or stay the #1 spot for tourists in the South, or even some, I think it's top 10 in the nation of one of the fastest growing cities in the US. So I fully support every bit of that. But like I said, the Pelicans are bringing in the numbers. The Pelicans are one of the highest rated and highest attended minor league baseball teams in the Southeast, if not the entire nation. So all I'm saying is if the city and county are willing to do redevelopments into areas that may have fallen short and they want to bring that back, let's make sure that we are redeveloping and renovating areas that are already bringing in that revenue for the city. And with all that being said, I didn't even mention the economic consequences that this would have as far as jobs for the area. The Myrtle Beach Pelicans hire so many people to be able to run that operation, from the Pelicans full-time staff that is there for the team year-round to seasonal employees like myself as an on-field host that's only needed during the season for games, or our ushers, the people that handle all of our trash that are there, concessions, those type of things. A lot of people don't realize how many people it takes just to put on a baseball game like that. And the city would be losing those jobs if the Pelicans were to go away. And yes, I understand that a majority of those are seasonal jobs, but still, that is money that's being made and then taken away from the city. Not to mention some of the legacy that is there. I don't want to mention any names of employees in case they don't want to be in a video, but I, have gotten to speak with a lot of those coworkers. They were my coworkers, and some of those people have worked there since opening day as a seasonal employee. That is over 25 years worth of job experience and skill that would just go away. And to say that you can't find a more dedicated team is an understatement. From people like me, who this was my first season and would like to continue to work for the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, to people, like I said, that have worked there since day one. Every single person loves their job, and the way that you know that is because it is mostly a seasonal position. That means that every year those people make the decision and put forth the dedication to go back to that job year after year because they enjoy it so much. And now the city is wanting to possibly take that away from us. That is a shame in itself, not only for the city losing a big tourist attraction like that, but also it's a blow to the locals who enjoy working there. So I know that I can ramble. I enjoy talking. It's how I ended up with the on-field host position in the first place, or why I'm here on YouTube. But this is my plea to the city and the county to really consider keeping the Myrtle Beach Pelicans here and doing whatever it takes to keep that ball team here in this city. And also, this is my plea to you as a viewer, as a fan, as a local or non-local. Do whatever you can to get involved in this. If you live in the city, make sure that you attend town hall meetings. Make sure that you attend city council meetings. Let them know that the public and the people of the city of Myrtle Beach want the Pelicans here. I know that there will be efforts ongoing by the Pelicans and possibly fundraisers or things like that that may be coming up, but there are absolutely free ways that you can get involved. The only thing it would cost you is your time and possibly being able to speak in front of people. I know personally myself that I will be there. I am looking for the dates for some of the city council meetings, any town hall meetings. I will try to keep them posted here on Part-Time Pirate. If this is the only way that you could get the information, I would love to be able to provide that for people. So keep a lookout for that, either in the description of this video, in the comments, any posts that I make on Part-Time Pirate. Make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any of that information coming out along here. But also, there are things, like I said, the Facebook page, Save the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, where I know people are sharing information already about this and trying to stay up to date. And that's really what it's going to take, is the public staying up to date and staying in the ear of our city council members and our county. We're going to have to be in their ear, yelling and screaming until they finally hear us. Now, I have seen to where city council members have said that they want to keep the team here as much as the public does. And I would agree with that. There's no reason why they should have to lose this team. But the fact that there's question about it really puts concern for us. And that's why we're trying to do anything that we can to make sure that this team stays here. And it's a loved part of Myrtle Beach, and it continues to be a loved part of Myrtle Beach for years to come. Now, if any of you have any ideas or ways that the public could do fundraising or events to be able to keep the Myrtle Beach Pelicans here, or if you have ideas on what the Pelicans could do to utilize that space during the off season to make it a year-round revenue generator for the area, please leave it in the comments below. I will try to get in touch with some contacts that I have to put those ideas out there to see what we could do. Even potentially push those ideas to the city to show them that this is not just a seasonal thing for the city of Myrtle Beach, that this can be a year-round place for locals and tourists alike to enjoy the ballpark and enjoy the team while they are here during the MLB season. I want to thank you for listening to what I had to say today. I really appreciate you watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up. That will be the easiest way to help get this video out to more people. The more people that see this, the more people that have information, the better our chances are going to be at keeping the Myrtle Beach Pelicans in Myrtle Beach. Again, subscribe to Part-Time Pirate so you don't miss anything going on here in Myrtle Beach and anything going on with the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. And I just want to say that I love you guys. Thank you for watching. And until next time, hold on to your booty, Pelicans.